The Humber estuary is located on the UK's east coast, specifically in Lincolnshire, with the two most notable cities on the Humber being Grimsby and Hull. Ever since the dawn of time, people have needed to cross the Humber and get from A to B. The first few ships to cross the estuary include the PS Magna Carta, 1832, the PS Grimsby, 1881, and the PS Killingholme, 1912. In 1934, an order was put in by the LNER for two new car ferries to replace the quickly ageing PS Brocklesby and PS Killingholme. The sisters would be built by William Gray and Company, West Hartlepool. The first of these twins was the PS Tattershall Castle, with a gross registered tonnage of 556. She was the second largest paddle steamer to ever serve on the Humber. The second of the twins was the PS Wingfield Castle, which was actually smaller than her older sister, weighing in at 550 GRT. The sisters were delivered to the LNER in 1935, and began regular services from the Coronation Pier, Hull, Lincolnshire, to the New Holland Pier, New Holland, Lincolnshire. Wingfield served on the same route. In 1939, the Tattershall Castle was called into service as a tether for barrage balloons, basically an unmanned airship which would make surprise attacks on the enemy. Don't ask me how they attacked, because I've got absolutely no idea. She also ferried troops and supplies across the Humber. After the war, she continued service with the LNER up until 1948, when Britain's railways became nationalised, forming into British Rail. BR formed a ferry company, Sealink, to manage and take care of the hundreds of car and passenger ferries formerly owned by the railways. Tattershall and Wingfield were part of Sealink from 1948 to 1974, when both were put out of service. The reason for the decommissioning was that in 1974 the Humber Bridge opened, deeming the ferry service useless. The PS Wingfield Castle was bought by EMI and set out to be a floating restaurant in Swansea, but was too wide to fit through the lock gates. In 1982, she was sold to the Hartlepool Borough Council, and has since returned to her birthplace and become part of Hartlepool's naval experience. Meanwhile, the PS Tattershall Castle was sold to become a floating art gallery on the Thames. The gallery stayed open for a few years until 1982, when her owners deemed that she was not making enough money to support herself. She was then sold to the Chef and Brewer Pub Company, who subsequently refitted her as a pub on the Thames, and get this, the Tattershall made more money in 1984 than she had for the entire time she was an art gallery. Isn't that just wonderful? Gotta love it. In 2015, she was sold to the Stonegate Pub Company, and she's been with them ever since. I absolutely love talking about the Humber ferries, and may even make a video on the sisters' 1941 twin, the PS Lincoln Castle, but that's a story for another day. This has to be the video that I had the most fun making, and I really hope you had fun watching it. I also hope that you learned something. Thank you for watching, it's much appreciated. Well then, I must be off. Stay safe, my favourite ship nerds. See ya.